What's up, Raider Nation? Do we got a new coach? What y'all think about it?
Monday Night Madness is where your voice takes the mic. This platform is for the dysfunctionally passionate Raider fan to provide their overreactive analysis, provide their emotional persuasiveness, and a chance to be grossly opinionated. When you take the mic, your hot take doesn't necessarily reflect the beliefs of all of Raider Nation or of this show. There might be cussing, arguing, and fans appearing on camera that aren't camera ready. Everyone is welcome to take the mic and join the madness.
If there's anything we've ever done that I'm particularly proud of, I would have to say that the perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders, to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
I think this journey's the most special because there's not a lot of people that have the opportunity playing in high school and college and then pro and then being injured and starting coaching as a young coach.
Can portray me any way they want because I don't give a damn. I am what I am, and until those people touch me close enough, they'll never know what I am. If they want to see me in this interview or in a newspaper article and say, what's the matter with this guy? Let them say it. But don't you analyze me and don't you tell me what I am until you get close enough to understand what I am. Then you can make an analysis of me. But don't you dare do it until that.
Clicked in my mind that if you just run through somebody's face, a lot of people ain't gonna be able to take that over and 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 over. Run through a motherfucker face.
The mental side of the game is taking me to the next level, and it's true confidence. It's feeding your brain elite of elite. And that's, I always talk about 1% and more is required. And I always say these things, but it's what I live. I see it everywhere I go because you have to constantly train your mind for greatness.
Wow. I love that intro. Man, thanks everybody for joining us. I'm going to bring in the rest of the crew. We got Mother Moon up in the house.
That's good. I love that intro too. Bring on the crew.
Right. Right, got my boy Arthur, and of course we got April bringing it up. What's up, gang?
April.
Hello.
How are you guys? Our drinking game tonight, of course. The drinking alert has got to be Coach. It's got to be Coach. Hold on, let me just take a drink to that because
excited. Cheers.
A lot of other drinking games. This one is kind of celebratory. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at that coaching decision. You know, I had a few people on my list, and this time we got one that's on the list. So at least I was kind of that. Yeah, at least one that was on the top of the list. Yes. I mean, so I thought that was good. So we'll just go through hot takes for tonight. Of course, it's going to be the new head coach. Big question that we all know that's going to contribute to any head coach's success is who's going to be the coordinators. You know what I mean? And then the biggest question is what everybody thinking? How long do we think it's going to take for the Raiders to have a winning season? So those are going to be the hot takes tonight. So yeah, let's just dig right in, man.
Before you get into this, your drinking game you chose tonight is Coach.
Oh, yeah. See, you said
we're all going to be we're all going to be pretty buzzed. So I think that if you don't drink, what are you going to do? You're going to toke. And if you don't toke, you're going to twerk it. By the end of the show, we're all going to be twerking.
I can't say I can't twerk. If I twerk, something seriously has gone wrong. You know, I mean, run to your bomb shelter because I mean, all hell is about to break loose if you ever see me twerking.
Oh, let's coach. Let's see it.
Hey, and to the folks out there, hey, the link is in the chats. Don't just comment. Pull up. Come talk to us. Click on that link. Tell us how you're feeling, if you're loving it, if you hate it, and why. Because we want to hear what you guys got to say. You know, we do a lot of talking, but man, I love it when people pull up, you know what I mean, and say what they got to say, man. So, yeah. So let's just go around. Let's go around. How do you guys feel about the Klink Kubiak hire? Moon, I'll start with you.
Well, I didn't really know much about the coaching that was going to happen. You know, we all kind of predicted, I think, that this was going to be our choice. So it kind of, from Arthur, what he was telling me about, that's where I got it from. But, looking into him a little bit, I think he has the background, so I'm hoping good things from him. He grew up in a coaching environment with his dad. So I'm really excited to see, all that gets, filtered in through his years. He's a young coach, but he's been around, he has a lot of jobs. So I'm waiting for that ink to dry.
Yep. All right. Arthur?
I said it yesterday in our group text. I'm excited. I'm smiling, but I'm like Moon. I'm not doing backflips until we actually have a contract signed and we announce him as our head coach. But that being said, like I said, I couldn't be happier. I said it a month ago on this show.
Yeah,
this feels like a different offseason for the Raiders. Like, we've been through coaching hires before. We've been through a lot of this. We've seen it, the last 3 seasons. But this just feels different. The process, I thought, was a lot better. They interviewed 15 different candidates for this job. So they definitely did their due diligence. They checked defensive, backgrounds and offensive backgrounds. And they went through the whole process. And like you said, Omar, at the top of the show, I'm happy that we got a guy that was at the top of our list. We didn't settle. We didn't have to go out and panic. We thought we had Ben Johnson last year, lost out, and then was like, oh, my God, what do we do now? Okay, let's just go get Pete. Like, this felt like they not only did they do their due diligence, but they got their guy. And that's what I couldn't be most happy about.
April?
I kind of agree with Arthur. I feel the same way. I feel like it feel a little different. I'm not going to get super excited until, like he said, he's signed and see what he brings in and what he's doing, hopefully the next Raiders head coach. I do like that I think I said it last show, I do like the Raiders that have taken their time in the hiring process, because the last couple of seasons it's been, okay, you're the intern, we got this. It's just very rushed and very it was just thrown. So I'm excited. I hope, I really do hope this is real. I hope I can't get excited. I'm going to get excited, but I can't get overly excited. I have to see what happens and what progresses and the route that this guy is going to go. Does he look good in silver and black? He sure does. Better than the other ones. So we'll see. So far, so good.
Nice. And yeah, I think Kubiak was this year's Ben Johnson. You know what I mean? Outside of the surprise firing over with the Ravens and also with the Bills, because we didn't see that coming. Right. Before those two guys hit the street, people were ramping and raving about Klink Kubiak. And, we had a couple of I had some more folks on my short list who I liked. He was one of them. But now I'm going to go a little step further, just, in my thought process on why I'm excited. I mean, number one, let's just say it. Hey, I mean, if you look at Shanahan and then the success he's had at the 49ers, his dad was a coach. Here we are with another guy, worked under Shanahan, and guess what? Kubiak, his dad was a Super Bowl winning coach. So I'm like, okay, we got some coach pedigree that worked under another coach with coach pedigree. We know that Kyle Shanahan offense is the same type of offense Clint runs. You know what I mean? We're going to have definitely a little West Coast with a little bit of, a lot of play action and then some zone with outside zone. Me and Arthur, we were already talking about, my God, can we get Genty into space? Can we just go some perimeter run? I mean, we were hollering and crying about that. So that was what I was thinking about when I was like, I'm a bit excited now. You know what I mean? Because he runs a type of offense that I think the guys that we have right now is going to be successful in. And I'm assuming now, because we only can assume because he's never been a head coach, that he is going to be able to develop a rookie quarterback.
Yes.
We already know he can take a veteran and not ruin him, because that's rule number one in bad coaching. If you take somebody who just did well the following season, they come in and work under you, and then all of a sudden they tank. That's the number one indicator of some bad coaching. We saw that. You know what I mean? So I'm excited. You know what I mean? That's just kind of my rationale. Y'all know me. I'm going to get hyped anyway. I'm going to think of everything. I'm going to look for every positive thing I can get my hands on to focus on. And that's kind of where I was at with Klink Kubiak, thinking, you know what? All right. Hey, I'm not mad at this hire. You know what I'm saying? It's not guaranteeing a Super Bowl next season, but you know what I mean? To me, it's a step in the right direction. Yep. I think it's a win when you go out and we saw it 2 weeks ago with the way this thing was going. We were saying, yeah, it's looking like Kubiak's our guy. Just the way they were going about it. You know what I mean? That slow roll, looking at how they were, what they were doing in the playoffs. So anyway, I'll stop right there. But I just think there's some positives to take away from on our approach. I think it's definitely a positive when you get your guy. And yeah, you guys, the only thing right now we do have to make sure, hopefully a week from today, the ink is dry and we'll have that announcement that'll come directly from Raiders headquarters saying that he is signed.
Well, I think a couple of strong positives that you mentioned is he's been around. He's been around growing up in the system, say since he was, a kid. So I think he knows what it takes, not just on the field, but at home with family. He knows it's going to take him, away from what's maybe home life's important about. And it's just, he understands the game as being the youngest one out of the ones we've had. As you mentioned earlier, Omar, you had some numbers on that, but he's a young guy. He knows a lot. He's been around. So
yeah, speaking of that, I mean, yeah, now AFC West, we went from the oldest coach in the AFC West to now the youngest coach in the AFC West. So, I mean, let's hope that we know how the Pete Carroll situation went. Let's hope with that, us flipping from the oldest to the youngest, we can also flip the results we got.
Well, and I'll even take it a step further, Omar. I mean, you mentioned the surprise firings in Harbaugh and Sean McDermott. I honestly feel that Kubiak is the best fit for this team. I'm not saying he's a better coach than Harbaugh or McDermott, but I think fit-wise, I think what he brings, I think like the excitement, the way he calls plays, and I think it's going to be the best fit for our offense. It's going to be the best fit for this team. So, I mean, losing out, I don't feel like we lost out on a Harbaugh because we never interviewed him, but not getting a Harbaugh, I wouldn't have minded Sean McDermott, don't get me wrong, but I just think the Kubiak is the best fit, and I think that the fact that the Raiders did their due diligence in the hiring process, they found that out also.
Yeah. Let's say what's up to the folks in the chat and go through some of these comments real quick here. Big Buck 3138. Thanks for joining us. Big Buck says, yes, he is. Give him an honest chance. Definitely. I definitely think, hey, guys, patience is going to be a virtue that Raider 100%. Nation has to embrace. We got a first-time head coach. How about for the first time, let's hope this organization and the fans get behind him, get patient, get a plan, and not, because I would love to know the plan, because I hate that, trust the process. That's one saying I get, but for some reason I just always not like that saying, because it's basically saying we don't know what the hell they're doing. Let's just kind of hope they're doing the right thing. And I hope we can at least, we may not know the plan, but I hope we can at least see it. I hope we see building blocks being laid, and then we see progress. No matter how slow it is, I just hope we can see that it's evident in the moves they make with Klink Kubiak and the rest of the staff. So,
who do you think he's going to bring in as offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator? That Patrick Graham is now with the Steelers.
That's a really good question. I've seen, and in my mind, and then I'll let you guys say, before we go into detail. In my mind, the defensive coordinator choice is going to be a lot more important to me than the offensive coordinator, because Kubiak is going to be running that offense. So I am really, 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 really looking at who he's going to bring in for defense. And now I got a little heartburn that we let Graham walk out. I understand what we did, and I thought, hey, instead of holding Graham and kind of having him just, miss out on opportunities, I thought that was cool that they, but me as a fan, I'm wishing we would have held on to him, because, you know what I mean? I thought this when we saw Graham Cook without any interference, I liked what he did, but now we got to wait and see who he's going to bring in.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the defensive coordinator position is a lot more important than the offensive coordinator position. I can see his bringing in his brother. His brother is technically the offensive coordinator for the Niners, but doesn't call any plays. We went through the nepotism with Pete, but I think this is completely different. His brother is actually learning under Kyle Shanahan, learning how to play, design plays, call plays. He's just not calling them. So I wouldn't have any problem with that nepotism hire. On the defensive side, I wanted Raheem Morris, and that's not going to happen. He's going to San Francisco.
He's gone already, yeah.
Yeah, I know that Jim Schwartz is not happy in Cleveland. Cleveland job.
That's my number one choice right now. Yeah, that's
number one on my list. I would love Jim Schwartz. He's been a head coach in this league. Like Omar, you just mentioned, he can work alone. Kubiak can focus on the offense. Schwartz can focus on the defense. They can come together as a plan, and I think that would just be an excellent hire. And man, like I said, it would just kind of keep rolling with this. Things are different this offseason for the Raiders. Like it would be huge.
Outside of that,
kind of exciting.
I wanted Anthony Weaver, but Weaver's gone too.
He's gone too.
You know what I mean? He was another one that he was like, I wanted Schwartz. No, first I wanted Morris, then I wanted Schwartz, and now I wanted Weaver, and I'm like, shit, Weaver's gone. But Schwartz is still there, and he's still my number one choice. But if there's not another guy out there that I can think of, at least right now, who has defensive coordinator experience, I wouldn't mind giving Al Harris a shot. I love what he did with the DBs, with the Bears.
Yes.
I mean, if we had to give a guy a shot and say, okay, we're gonna roll the dice on a first time defensive coordinator, Al Harris would definitely he'll have me excited, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted somebody that he could work well with, that would get all that negative out of the locker room. Not like I've been in the locker room, but I'm just saying.
All righty.
Just somebody that we could really work with. And I think that he's going to have that flexibility to kind of do what he wants and pick and choose who he wants and spend that money how he needs to.
Definitely. Hey, again, to the folks in the chat, you guys, man, don't just watch, join the show. The link is in the comments, so just scroll on up there, man, and join the show. Speaking of which, you guys, we have a special guest waiting in the background.
Ooh, nice.
I think we have Mr. Klink Kubiak backstage.
How you doing, guys? It's Klink Kubiak. I just wanted to let you know that I came to the Raiders for one reason and one reason only. And that's the For Life Our Raiders Story podcast.
Nice.
I couldn't get you guys to talk about me unless I came to Vegas. So that's what it is.
Nice. Thanks for joining us, sir.
So yeah, as you can see, Klink Kubiak here. But
so what do you think about the hire, boss man?
I am both excited and cautious. Raider Nation is just super excited because Klink Kubiak is just a hot name out there. But I don't jump on the Raider Nation's bandwagons because I'll tell you right now, if Klink Kubiak selects anybody else except Fernando, they're all going to turn on him, and they're all going to want to run him out of town before the season even starts. Because the Raider Nation, they just have that one-track mind, right? At least most of them. My thing is, I'm excited because he's got a lot of potential. So I'm glad he's here. But I also know that he only has 2 years of OC experience, offensive coordinator experience. And one of those, he's only had one successful one. He didn't really do too well in New Orleans, despite having a pretty talented running back room, Alvin Kamara and some others. And I mean, we weren't exactly weak at wide receiver. The Saints weren't. They had Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed and a couple other pieces. Juwan Johnson kind of sucks as a tight end. But other than that, they have pieces to work with, and Klink couldn't do much with them.
I'll just say this. They had a lot of injuries.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. They started off hot that year. They put up 40 points in the first 2 games, the first 3 games, and then a lot of them got hurt, and they lost a lot of pieces in their defense. So, I mean, keep that in mind. And he also had a USC in Minnesota in 2021, who has 3 years of OC experience.
Yeah. I like I said, that's part of the reason why I'm okay. I'm excited about this too. But I'm using both sides of my brain. I'm using the excited side of my brain and I'm using the cautious side of my brain at the same time with him. He has yet to do anything that tells me he's the next coming of Vince Lombardi, right? So I personally think, if you guys really want to know, I think there should be a rule that a person should be an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator for at least 3 years before they get offered a head coaching job. And that protects the team that they're going to go to as a head coach, but that also protects the OC or the DC. A lot of DCs fail nowadays and OCs as head coaches because they have one good year, someone hires them as a head coach, and they're just not ready for that yet. So that kind of ruins a lot of careers, and that could happen to Klink Kubiak here. So that's just my personal thing. I think there should be a 3-year rule with OCs and DCs before they get offered head coaching jobs just for that purpose. But yeah, I wish I could just give you a straight answer, but the fact is it's both. I'm excited and cautious at the same time. That's what I'll say about it.
Well, I think one thing we got to remember too is that there was a guy who never was a coordinator, and he was one of our greatest coaches. Anybody know who that linebacker coach was? John Madden.
John Madden.
So, you know what I mean? It's kind of the luck of the draw. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because we've seen guys kill it. We had a guy who keeps killing it as a coordinator and stinks as a head coach. And that guy, again, is going to the freaking Super Bowl. He's going to be playing. His offense is going to be out there on display. So, I look at a lot of that. And like I say, it's so many different components. Yes, you got to be a talented coach. 2, though, you also got to be a talented people manager. You know what I mean? Because you're not just coaching, you're managing other coaches, and you have to be able to identify coaching talent, which is one thing I do want to hear from you is the coordinator position, because that's kind of where we left off before you brought you on. Who you think would be good coordinators for the Raiders?
Oh my God. Out of who's left? I have no idea. I don't even know where to begin with that. Because I don't know what Clint wants to do, first of all. I think Clint is probably going to call the offensive plays himself. So it almost doesn't matter who our coordinator really is in that respect. I mean, we could hire another Pete Carmichael type. Pete Carmichael is a really good game planner, but he's just not a good coordinator because he can't do the ebbs and flows of the game, right? So
can I cut in real quick?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that speaking of one of the failures that Kubiak had with the Saints, that was a failure for the Raiders last season, was an offensive line. You know what I mean? And yes. I think whatever coordinator he brings in needs to have that tough in the trenches mentality. You know what I mean? So I do think that, yes, he's going to call the offense, I believe, and it's going to be his style. You know what I mean? We talked about it. I don't think he's going to stray away from that West Coast-ish style, heavy play action, zone, outside zone. I don't think he's going to. I think that's his bread and butter. I think he's going to stick with it. But I think whoever he brings in is going to have a huge focus on the offensive line, because it was his Achilles heel in Saints, and it's definitely the Achilles heel in this Raider team last year.
I do have an idea of who he wants for a D coordinator. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes that dude from the Browns. I forget his name.
Jim Schwartz.
Jim Schwartz is supposedly really pissed off at Cleveland's ownership. And he's a great DC, so Clint could snatch him up, and he probably could just off of his current reputation. You got Klink Kubiak coaching the offense. You got Schwartz coaching the defense. Yep. You got potential for a friggin' super team there.
We still have Joe Philbin on this as a part of this team. And 2 years ago, I've been beating this drum for months. Our offensive line with basically the same players was 15th in passing and 6th in run blocking under Joe Philbin. So the only thing that changed this last year was we brought in Pete's stupid son, and he couldn't coach him. So, I mean, once again, there's some coaching talent still left on this team, and like I said, hopefully Kubiak comes in and goes, well, wait a minute, you know what, Joe? Hey, you're still a part of this staff. Boom, offensive line is yours again. Like get him back going again. And we've actually added talent with Grant and Rogers. So, that's my thing with the offensive line. If that's not his bag and that's not what he does, then like you said, turn it over to someone that does it and has had success with the players that we currently have. And I'm not saying we shouldn't spend money on the offensive line. I wholeheartedly think that should be our first thing that we do is be bringing in more talent. But the players we have right now under Joe Philbin was a pretty good offensive line. I mean, it was a reasonable offensive line, and they were actually able to do some things.
Yep. All right, guys, hold on real quick. So there's a special guest who shouldn't be a guest tonight because she should be knee deep in celebrating her birthday. So I want to get her on real quick here. Hear what she got to say so I can send her back off the party.
No kidding.
What is up? You're supposed to be, wait. I'm going to take a drink because you're supposed to be partying, so I'm going to party for you, girl.
I know, but I have a special announcement that I just got. Is the only reason why.
Well, do tell.
Go. While I just landed in Puerto Rico, I got a call from one of our favorite former Raiderettes, Adrian, Miss Mama, who just informed me she's going to be performing with Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl on Sunday. And she was rehearsing with him today. She's part of the salsa segment. She said he's delightful. She said he smells good. No, I made that part up. But
so are we going to have her on so we can get like her, the whole experience that she had? You know what I mean? Let's get that booked.
That's right. I wasn't going to come on, but I just, she literally called me as I landed and she told me she was hanging out with Benito. So I figured it was the perfect opportunity to tell everyone to look out for our girl mama, Miss Adrian. She's a USC alum and she's a former Raiderette. She's been on our show several times, great supporter of this show. She actually was the first former Raiderette to come on our Raiderettes Roundtable. She's been on 3 times, I think. So look out for her. I'm excited about it for her.
Oh, nice. That's great. And if awesome. Everybody could go back and watch that show, it'll be perfect.
Yeah, I'll repost the link so you see the interviews. And then, maybe we can get her on the show to talk about it.
Spicy.
Awesome.
Tell me.
How does it feel to finally be 25?
I don't know yet. I just turned 21.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Hold on, I gotta really quick before we go. I gotta show you Eric's shirt. Hold on, you might have to stand up. It's actually pretty good.
Oh my gosh. Yes, my girlfriend's Puerto Rican.
Oh, my girlfriend is
Everyone was dying laughing, but I'll let you guys get back to it. I just wanted to share the news about Mama, so look out for her with Bad Bunny for the Super Bowl.
Well,
awesome.
Hold on, girl.
Tell me.
We do want to give you a little cheers and wish you a happy birthday.
Absolutely.
Salute.
Thank you.
I know you're out there having a great time, but thank you for popping in. And we got
salute. You guys, birthday of the show. You're doing awesome. And thanks for being on, Klink Kubiak.
Klink Kubiak.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
I love you.
Well, that was awfully nice for her to jump in. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, I'd have been 3 sheets to the wind. Like, oh.
Exactly.
My God.
Like, there's a show?
Nice. I mean, if you haven't seen Adrian be interviewed from the Raiderette segment, she's a delight. She is full of energy. She's been with the Raiderettes. They call her Mama. And she's just full of energy. So I'm so excited to see her at the concert. That's what I'm calling it, the concert. Not Super Bowl.
Hopefully we'll get her on. All right, let's see the last word from Coach Kubiak.
All right. Well, guys, first of all, thanks for having me on. Just great show as always, all of you. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite Raider shows for sure.
Awesome, brother, man.
I don't know. I guess I don't have much more to add. I just want to say, I feel like it'll be interesting to see what Kubiak does, not just with the coaching staff, but what he wants to add for pieces and spend some of the money that we have and how he wants to distribute that, because we have to go get a receiver. Romeo Dobbs could be available for cheap. So Romeo Dobbs is, well, he's not Terrell Owens. He's definitely a decent number one. There's a couple of good receivers out there that we can spend decent money on without breaking the bank just because we have so much money. So I say, obviously we need to go buy some offensive linemen. Oh, and this is my final one. This is what I was going to say before. I will not be mad if we use our pick on an offensive lineman. I really won't. So if we don't go Mendoza's direction, if we actually just decide to beef up our offensive line with that or try to, I'm not going to be. I know Raider Nation will be mad. I will not be mad because no quarterback can do anything behind this current line anyway. So, if they go with the offensive lineman route, they're still going the right direction, in my opinion. I guess I'll leave it at that.
Well, we always appreciate you, brother. Thank you for pulling up. And hey, man, I look forward to seeing you next time.
All right, man. See you guys next week.
Thank you.
All right.
I'll say this based off that comment. I hope that we address the offensive line long before the draft. This offensive line is already addressed. We address it in free agency, and we don't have to worry about it in the draft. It becomes one of those moot points because basically what the Bears did last year. You know what I mean? They brought in Ben Johnson. He made a couple trades for some offensive linemen. He signed in a couple offensive linemen, beefed it up, and did it long before the draft. So I get where Hobo's coming from, but for my money, like I said, we got the money, spend it. Let's address this line and not even worry. Address it in March and not even worry about it come April when the draft is here.
There's no more important. There's not a more important position in NFL than quarterback.
Maybe in sports.
So you got a guy right there, plays as well as this Heisman Trophy winner, national championship. And now wait, and can you imagine this going into the season that we got a head coach, if he's fresh off a Super Bowl win, we draft a quarterback fresh off of a national championship, and that's how we start this new thing.
Yep.
With two guys in key positions with a winning mentality. We need that. We need that. And I'm not saying this to knock any offensive lineman in this draft, but there's always some good offensive linemen in every draft. You know what I mean? If that's the way you need to go. But like you're saying, I think we have enough depth with some young line talent. I just think we were very short on good line coaching.
Yes.
So pick up a couple veterans to help mentor some of these young guys. Exactly what you're saying in free agency, and grab that quarterback, man. And, you know what I mean? And like I say, to me, outside of what we just said with quarterback and head coach, man, and we were talking about coordinators, that's going to be very important. Let me go back to the chats real quick, guys, because there was also a chat that I saw someone chat something that I want to go back to, but I want to say what up to a couple of folks. What's up, Jay Jackson? Good evening, watching from work. Have a great show. Thank you, sir. Work hard so you can play hard, because I know you do both, because you always out there representing and playing. Hey, what we got here? Carlos Sanchez. Let's go. Raider Nation for life. I'm with that. Big Buck is saying 2 to 3 years. Maybe that's a comment on us, getting, having a winning season.
I want to say I agree. I agree with Big Buck. I just don't want everybody to say, oh, we have this new guy and we want to go to the Super Bowl already because he came off a Super Bowl. I think we need to give him a chance and keep him for whoever it may be. Keep this coach for a couple of years before we start saying, okay, he's got to go. But I agree.
Rookie quarterbacks are going to have growing pains. We're going to go through a lot of growing pains with a rookie quarterback. I mean, let's face it, Peyton Manning threw, 20-something interceptions his first year as a rookie. I mean, I'm not saying Mendoza's going to do that, and I hope he doesn't, but there's going to be growing pains with the rookie quarterback, learning the speed of the league, learning all the different calls and learning a new offense. So, we're going to have some patience as fans. But I definitely agree with Big Luck. I would like to say by 2028, we're actually competitive and people are talking about us making a playoff run. And then maybe by 29, we're charging for a Super Bowl. So Agreed. It's going to be a lot of patience, but like I said, Omar just talked about it. Quarterback's not only the most important position in all of football, maybe all of sports, but it's the hardest one to play. It's the hardest one to learn. So we got to be patient with this rookie quarterback who's going to, like I said, he's going to go through some growing pains.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I say, I just want to see some measurable progress.
Absolutely.
I mean, if it's 5 wins, next season, and we see it like, we see it. We see the progress. We see competency. Everybody's like, God dang it. You know what I mean? Yes, 5 wins sucks, but we still see it. You know what I mean? So, and of course, I'm hoping we get, I'm going to go Raider Travis all the way on this one and be like 17-0, baby. We going 17-0. But I'm just saying, I'm patient enough that, you know what, I'm not going to be sitting here, bitching and moaning too much about if we did just win 5 games. I just want to see competency. I would like to see some progress. So let's see here. We got MG's Raiders saying, salute Mother Moon, April, Omar, and Arthur. What is going on? Thank you for watching. Appreciate you. Alpha and Omega's in the house saying, what up, fam? What's going on, boss man?
Supporter.
Right.
So do you think with so they bring Clint in? Do you think he's already thinking, who can I bring in as a quarterback?
Definitely.
I'm not even talking about coordinators. I'm talking about, okay, they don't really have a quarterback right now. Who can I bring in to kind of help this kid Mendoza? Because I can't see us not going after Mendoza.
He's already building the staff, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
And I'm sure there's a lot of conversations. You know what I mean? If I was interviewing someone to be the head coach of my football team, I want to hear all their thoughts. I'm going to assume that any professional would be prepared for that interview. Took a look at the roster, maybe watched a little bit of film of what we did last year to have some idea where we at, where he sees us, easiest way to, and have a tree of things that, hey, if we do this is how I see that happening. You know what I mean? So I would hope that things like that, those situational conversations happened in an interview. You know what I mean? And hopefully he had the best answers.
Yeah, I'm sure that will
go. Definitely. Who we got
Omar,
here?
we have someone new.
Raider. What's
Go ahead.
good?
I'm sorry.
He was saying, what's good, panel? Have a great live. Thanks, 805 Raider. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. What were you saying, Mother Moon?
I'm saying we have someone who's new joining us tonight. If you could pull him up, it's Carlos. It's first time with us. So Carlos Sanchez.
Where's Carlos at? I think I'm way further up in the chats than you are.
Oh.
The first time on the show. Love it.
Welcome, and let everybody know, just, thumbs up. Join, call in. We really want to hear from you, your opinion. The link is there on top. So
the link is up in the chats. Hey, looks like Alpha and Omega saying he gives us 2 seasons, and there will be a trend of dominance in Las Vegas. Perfect time to try and host the Super Bowl. All right, I could be down with that. He says a trend of dominance. I like the way that's even stated. Dominance. Yes. I like it. I'm with Alpha and Omega. Let's go. We need some dominance, damn it.
Taking off what you just said, Omar, if we win 5 games this year, it is what it is. It's definitely a turnaround, but I want to be competitive in our losses. If we can look at some of the losses and say, you know what, that was a 3. We lost by 3 here, but we were competitive. We lost on the last field goal. The defense played well. The offense looked good. Mendoza's maybe threw a late interception because he's still learning. As long as we're competitive in our losses and still maybe winning some games along the way, and you can see the team building, that's success for me this year. We don't need to compete for the playoffs. We need to, like you said, just build on certain things and show that we're heading in the right direction. Because, like you have a lot of teams that did, lose by 1 score, and they maybe, go 0-8 in 1-score games, and then next year they learn from it, and then they're, 8-0. And we've seen that happen. So it's just about being competitive, not only in the wins, but in the losses, and being in games every week and sitting down and going, man, we have a chance to win this game this week. I like our chances.
Saying that we should work as a team.
Work as a team.
Work as a team.
We have the components. We have it. We just need the right person to put it in motion. Literally every year, it's like except for this last year and I think the two years prior, it was like there, but it wasn't there. I don't know if that makes sense. And I'm like, oh my God, we have it. Our offensive, not our line, but just in play. God, we have such good talent. I want to see it wasted on a dumb coach or a quarterback who thinks he's in his glory days. I just want to see it work. I just want to win, baby. That's it.
Now,
We all share that
this
same
comment right here
sentiment,
from
but
Protect the Shield.
Come
Hey,
on.
come
Let's hear
on
it.
in. You
Yeah.
won't rain on our parade. This is what
pull
this is about.
up.
We're
My God.
excited, but
Contrast.
I think we're
Pull
still
up.
realistic. I think we are still we're excited because I think the excitement also comes from finally picking someone. So come on, baby, rain on my parade.
Yeah, that's
Protect
sort
the
of
Shield.
the reasons why.
I mean, and you know what? And whatever he would say, oh, trust me, he'll have some very good reasons for feeling the way he feels.
Absolutely.
So
Good point.
I would
Always
definitely
good
love
point.
to hear his point. Of course, my positive ass would be like, no. But I love my guy, and I would love for him to pull up and tell us how he feels about it. Because, like I say, I'm sure he would have some very good takes on whatever his position is. So,
Absolutely. And like we said, we're not doing
definitely.
cartwheels. We're waiting for the ink to dry. I think at this time, we got to get something rolling already, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we have to be excited about something, but reel us in a little bit if you need to. I love a healthy conversation. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you.
Definitely. And somewhere in the chat, I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. I think someone was mentioning that for offensive coordinator, we should bring in John Benton.
Rector, yeah. I saw that comment.
My only thing about that is John Benton was with him with the Saints, and I believe he was the line coach with the Saints. So, and yeah, that could have been a talent issue. I know they had injuries. It definitely could have been an injury issue. I don't know, but let's just say they're not having that issue right now with the Seahawks. So, you know what I mean? Whatever happened there, like I say, I do know it was a lot of issues. So I wouldn't be mad at that. But you know who I would like? And there's a couple of guys, but one is Thomas Brown. He's the guy on the other side of the field for the Patriots.
Right.
He's the passing game coordinator and tight end coach. One of the things I was crying about all season long was better using these tight ends. So I would love a guy whose main focus is tight ends, and help Kubiak really carve out, because, I read something that I didn't like over the weekend, and they were talking about trading Mayer, as a, trading him. And I'm like, no, please don't do that.
Yeah.
Do not trade Mayer until this man has a chance to cook with two of the best tight ends in the league. You know what I mean? Like, if he can't cook with them, okay, then. But give him a chance with those two. Please don't trade Mayer right now. Not this season.
Yeah.
So that's my take. Like I say, at least on offensive coordinator, because I like I said, I'm not that focused on there. I looked at some good names. Also, one of our guys, Ronald Curry. He's a name that popped up, and I'm like, hey, he was a Raider. I'm always loving a Raider coming back. So yeah, Ronald Curry, you got my vote just on name recognition. So that's kind of where I'm at on the offensive coordinator. But to your point, man, Philbin, he's still on staff. We know. So bring in your guy, Benton, if that's who you want to bring in. But please put Philbin on that line. Yeah. I mean, because between the two of them, between Benton and Philbin, this line should be, what I mean? We should know what we need to bring in the offseason for free agency, and we should be able to work some of these young guys that we have and build a pretty good line. You know what I mean? So it should be good. I think it should be good. It should be at least fun to watch. You know what I mean? So
yeah, totally agree.
Yep. Let's see here. Who else we got in here? Look, Sacktown Raider Mike. What's going on, dog? He's up in the house. Let's see here. Who else we got up in the house? Anybody I miss? Moon, anybody I miss? Help a brother out.
Help a brother out. Well, Sacktown, it's been a while. So welcome back to you. Right? Alpha Man, if you want to put that up, there we go.
Oh, yeah. 2 tight end sets is a must in Kubiak's offense. Yeah, so I'm going to start the Keep Mayer campaign right now. We know Bowers is not going anywhere. Please keep Mayer, damn it.
Absolutely.
Who we got here? We got Raider for Chris. Yo, Kubiak, come out to play. I love it. Warriors, baby. Let's do it. And now, So what is the take, man? Is there an over or under on who's going to get fired first out of this batch? Is there over and under, on I got who I think. I think Jeff Hafley. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that was a friend hire. His guy, GM, and I was just like, that's going to screw you, dude. Keep family and friends out your business.
Right. Yeah.
It's the only way half of them have a job, so I don't know.
Yeah, that is very true, right? Sheesh.
I don't
know. Stefanski, is he going to mess up the quarterback situation?
It's going to be real interesting to see what happens there in Atlanta because, I mean, I don't think they're going to keep Kirk Cousins. I also don't think they're going to pay him all that money that he's owed. But, I mean, Stefanski's worked with him before, and Penix isn't really turning out to be what they thought he was going to be. He's always – I mean, the guy can't stay healthy. So that's going to be a really interesting situation to watch out for.
Yeah.
For me, it's got to be Todd Monken just because, I mean, it's Cleveland and, you expect them to fire a coach every 2 years anyways. So
I'm honestly surprised that Joe Brady is the coach for the Bills. I'm surprised at that.
Yeah, well, he was on the circuit. You know what I mean? He was a name floating around. He got a second interview with us. I don't know who else he had a second interview with. So I mean, I was surprised that they fired their head coach. And
that's what I'm saying. But he was their offensive coordinator. Am I wrong?
Yeah,
he was their offensive coordinator.
I don't understand the firing of McDermott solely based on a Denver game, and they hire Joe Brady. I mean, it's clearly to me that Josh Allen may have been the problem, or maybe even Joe Brady might have been the problem. So I don't know. This is just weird. This whole panel you have is like, yikes.
I don't know about this whole panel, but I do know you said coach way too many times, and I think I'm the only one playing the drinking game.
Right? I don't think I kept up with how many times I said coach.
I know. What's up with that?
And someone in the chat just remind me. Thank you. Hey, light that torch, hit the like button, subscribe, and join and become a member. Thank you for reminding a brother. Yeah, I wish Spicy was here. I just want to talk, man. I don't want to work all this stuff.
Yeah, work it.
Look. I'm multitasking. I'm talking and drinking. Everything else is hella extra.
Agreed.
I'm like, what we got here? So Alpha and Omega said, looks like my hometown family with Virginia doing big things once again in NFL. Ronald Curry and Charles Grant on our O-line. Yeah, dude. I wouldn't mind, man. I wouldn't mind if Curry became our coach, dude. I am kind of mad though. I was hoping that we got Raheem Morris as our defensive coordinator, and then I was hoping for like Anthony Weaver. So I'm right now. The Browns have not allowed. They haven't fired Jim Schwartz, and I heard he's down to fight. I heard he's like, all right, well,
he packed up his office.
Right?
He his office and said he wanted out, and they're trying to talk him down, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's out of there.
Yeah,
so he really wanted that head coaching job, and they didn't give it to him. So I think he's like, nope, let me go.
Yeah. It would be great if we could pick up Jim Schwartz to run our defense. I really think that would be – it would make me feel a lot better about when I start yelling 17-0, you know? You know, it'll help my delusional state. You know what I mean? I can dig in a little deeper, stand 10 toes down on it, and maybe try to make an argument, but whatever. You know, that's how it goes. Yeah. Who we got here? Mike LaFleur is a great hire for the Cards. He'll be there for a while. All right. You know, I kind of think the young guys in this one are going to be there for a while because I think Joe Brady with the Bills, I mean, he already knows that offense. I forgot did he hire someone for his defense already? I don't know. We'll see how that plays out, but I really think he's in a good spot. I definitely think Minter's in a good spot with Baltimore. So yeah, I do think LaFleur probably has the hardest job, you know what I mean? But if you think he's gonna, you think he'll be there for a while, okay. I mean, we'll see what they do. Are they gonna get rid of their quarterback? So we'll see. You know what I mean? He's going to be playing his buddy twice a year, so that's going to be interesting. And I wonder if we're going to have another brother bowl between him and his brother up in Green Bay. But we could have a brother bowl. Assuming that Kubiak does well and his brother Clay finally gets a head coaching position, so we could be in something like that ourselves. So we'll see how that goes.
Talking about that, Omar. So you have Clint, you have Clay, and he has another brother. Klein.
There's a third. There's a third Kubiak. Wow, I didn't know that.
He's a scout, so he's not like way up there. So he's
Gary,
a scout.
Their dad.
And then there's his dad Gary.
Right.
So you have Clint, Klein, Clay, and Gary with the G. But
Excel Raider. No, man. No.
Absolutely not.
Come on, man. Wait. I know we didn't say coach, but I got a drink. That just.
I mean, that has to be some kind of a good luck, right?
No. That's just
fan.
No,
I'm not a Kyler Murray hater. I'm not a Kyler Murray hater, but I don't want Kyler Murray on my team.
No.
I'm a Kyler Murray hater. He broke my heart as an A's fan and went and played football after we, drafted him and gave him $1 million signing bonus. So I don't need him breaking my heart as a Raider fan now.
Yeah, he's saying that he'll be good under Clint. Yeah, man. I'll take AOC under Clint then. I mean, because look, if you're assuming that we're going to draft Mendoza and sit him, I'm with that. I've been saying that.
Yes,
I'll draft
100%.
that guy. I would look Raider Nation dead in the face and say, yep, picking him first overall and sitting him.
Sitting him down, yep.
I mean, with a straight face. You
know
what I'm saying?
What's wrong with that?
Looking at long-term gains, whether it's 1 year, 2 year, it would be a quarterback competition. I mean, unless we had that quarterback competition and he just blew some guys away, then okay, then hey, bro, you starting now. But I wouldn't mind if we, if the assumption that anyone is under on bringing in a veteran quarterback outside of the ones that we already have and sitting Mendoza, because I'm all about drafting Mendoza and everything else is everything else after that. I don't, I'm good, but I'm not feeling Kyler, dude. I'm not saying that he's bad. It just wouldn't get me excited. It wouldn't get me excited. I would be,
why the comments gotta just put me on blast like that?
Right? You see the last comments? You see the big blast?
I've been good.
Dang, someone brought up AOC before April. I did. I couldn't help myself. It was an appropriate
for half a second.
In my mind, though, and y'all can throw the penalty flag, that was appropriate AOC placement in that conversation, though. And somebody agreeing with me, we need someone for Fernando to sit behind for a couple of years. All right. I'm with you on the sit
Not
part.
Kyler.
But I'm not with you on the Kyler Murray part.
I'm not with you in a couple of years. 1 year maybe, but I don't think you need to sit two.
No, not even a year.
A year or late into the season.
And I'll make this argument, and I think this is going to be about how much tolerance we have at this point for wins and losses, because could it do Mendoza any good? Especially if we have a great line and he's not getting beat to death. Would it be okay just to see the kid, make mistakes and just kind of grow? You know what I mean? Like I say, it just depends. It depends, and that's going to be something the coaches have to evaluate, because if it's going to be too ugly, hell to the no. But as cerebral as he is, I don't know if this guy's floor is that low. I think he has a very high floor that if we did start him, I don't, like I say, my first gut is sit him, but I can make the argument of why we wouldn't. And that's because he does have a high floor. He's very cerebral. So I think he'll get it. You know what I mean? Quicker, sooner than later.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, for everything I heard, the guy's all about football. He's a gym rat. He's, he studies the game. He watches film. He's all about it. And, like you said, if he comes in and he just outplays AOC, or if we bring in a veteran quarterback, whoever, it's it's hard to make an argument to sit him. I've always been a proponent of sitting rookie quarterbacks at least let them watch for a little while. I think we saw it this year with Jackson Dart. You know what I mean? He didn't start the season, but then he came on, October-ish, played well, got some reps, and down the stretch took some lumps, but he learned. So it's going to be one of those situations as to kind of like you said, Omar. I mean, it can go both ways. It just depends on, like I said, if he shows up to training camp and he outplays everybody, it's going to be hard to say, okay, now go sit down.
Absolutely.
Axel Raider, I agree. This is why Spicy should be running the show. Why Kyler shouldn't be running our offense. I'm the backup, bro. I'm a proud backup.
Hey,
I will hold this clipboard and let Spicy QB this thing all day, every day. So I agree with you. I agree with Kyler saying the same thing about me.
No, Accelerator, he has jokes. There's another one up here. Loving it. He said, what the heck? Mother Moon for quarterback for the next 2 years. That's my vote. I don't know if that's a compliment.
Why is he saying April acting up tonight? What am I doing? I'm good.
Right.
I'm sober. I'm not getting crazy tonight.
You're like, I'm good.
Not yet.
Hey, Big Luck said he'd take AOC over Kyler. I'm with that too. Yeah, got Anthony Estrada up in the house with fixing the line. Sit Mendoza, start Gino or AC. Losing season by the bye week. Bring in the kid. I'm just hoping we can get something for Gino. You know what I mean? Because I think we got some guaranteed money on his contract. Maybe the Jets. Come on. Maybe you guys can, bring him back. Bring him on back over there.
Oh my goodness!
Just that name makes my ears hurt.
Victor Lopez says there's zero chance Fernando sits any year unless he gets hurt. Wow! All right, that's that high floor talking. That's that high floor, man.
I mean, I can talk about Patrick Mahomes. I can talk about Jordan Love. I can talk about Aaron Rodgers. I can talk. I just mentioned Jackson Dart this year. I mean, there's an argument to sit him, guys. Like he doesn't. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to sit for 2 years like Jordan Love did, sit for 2 years like Aaron Rodgers did. But I'm saying there's an argument to sit these guys and let them learn and let them watch. And like I said, it doesn't have to be the whole season. Maybe it is by the bye week. Maybe he sits until the bye week and see where we're at. And then if we're we're not winning games, we're not where we think we should be, then he comes in and he takes some reps and he takes some lumps. But we don't have to if he sits, I don't want everybody to be like, oh my God, this is just the worst decision on earth, and how dare Kubiak sit him? Like,
let's
see where the chips fall.
That would be some impatient people. You know what I mean? Because
you got to be patient.
The moment we draft him, he's the quarterback of the future. Now, whether the future happens in the 2026 season or the 2027 season, he is going to be the quarterback of the future. So, like I say, guys, I hope we get some measurable improvement. You know what I mean? But we got to be patient. We do. You know what I mean? If we see what we saw with Pete Carroll and a lot of incompetence going down, and then now we're all going to be upset. You know what I mean? But as long as we don't see any of that, we got some fight. Like I say, they're losing games, but it ain't ugly. And you know what I mean?
Competitive. We just be competitive in these games. You know what I mean? Like walk in there every week to have a chance to win.
Axel Razor said, we're doing a great job in Spicy's absence. Well, you know what? We try, man. We try.
And she doesn't miss often, but those who miss it, it's her birthday, and she is out doing her thing. You know her. She loves to travel, so she is in Puerto Rico getting her roots knowledge on, trying to find some Bad Bunny, but he's in LA. She usually is, but she's in Puerto Rico. Little miscommunication there, but wish her a happy birthday. She'll be back next week, I think.
Raider Dank Vader says, Mother Moon, what did you do with Spicy? What did you do with her?
I'll tell you what I did. I taught her how to be independent and get out there and travel and dance, and she's out there having a great time. So
what up, Cool Care? Thanks for joining us. Happy birthday to Spicy. I'll drink to that besides the coach word. Okay.
I'm empty, but I'll salute it.
Salute it. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Omar, you want to take us out?
Yeah, so you know what I mean. So I think hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have him signed and sealed. By our next show, we'll be talking about the signing of Kubiak because it'll be official, and then hopefully we can start seeing how he's going to start building out this the rest of the coaching staff because that's going to be very important. And you guys, you know, we go out one way and only one way.
One way.
Raiders! Peace, guys.